No, duh.
Oh, duh.
Please don't.
What is that? You start howling at the moon? Killer cop pretends to be concerned husband to hide his evil plan. Twirls mustache. Man, why can't we have like true crime villains like in real life that are just mustache twirling evil villains? You know, I feel like that would, our lives would be better because their evil plans wouldn't really involve murdering people. It would just be like annoying people, you know, like pouring out their milk carton and then pissing in it and putting it back in the fridge. And then in the morning, like someone pours the piss in their cereal and eats it. And then the evil villain's just standing outside the window, just twirling his mustache going, fool! You just ate and drank my piss. Runs away like a goblin. God, I want to try that sometime. Not piss cereal. I'm talking about like pissing in someone's cereal. Anyway.
911. What's the address? 911.
Okay, you already sound like you're crying. Like, you know, I'm not going to say that. That's going to cause too much controversy in my comment section.
What's the matter? Tell me where you're at. Okay, take a deep breath for me. Take a deep breath.
Okay, bro, I could tell that's fake from a mile away. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Like, dude, you don't even have to show me the title, and I could tell this is fake as fuck. Like, come on, man. Amber Heard type crying? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, so just so you know, we're 60 or nigh. This guy that we're going to, retired ISP. Yeah, but he's super volatile. He's torched off rounds. He's done all kinds of shit. So we're waiting for all of us to get here to go in and be aware that it could turn into something major.
Thank you, 630 hours for the 11 months.
Wait with him.
Get Bubs?
Man, he's really putting on a show, isn't he? He's really putting on a show over there. Fakest cry ever? Yeah. For 1 second. Oh, fuck.
Send in medical.
Got that?
Yep. Central 20.
Do you have anything?
No heartbeat.
Lucidity?
Not seeing anything.
The recordings you have just heard and seen are evidence of what happened in the aftermath of Kendi Howard's death on February 2nd, 2021.
Oh wait, I just realized. Wait, this is the, yeah, it's the cool ass narrator from last time.
Before we begin, we would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of the victim in this case, Kendi Howard. Divorce can be heartbreaking for some couples, but for one 48-year-old Idaho woman...
What is with divorce, man? How many fucking videos have we watched where it starts off with divorce and then someone kills someone because of it? Like, bro.
Who tried to make
just get divorced! You don't have to kill anyone!
Marriage work for more than half her life, divorce wasn't an ending she was dreading. After 27 years, Kendi Howard was ready to move on. Her family and friends said that she was so elated about the decision that she was practically giddy about starting the next stage of her life. She was planning for a bright new future, one that did not include Daniel Howard.
That's why he's pissed off that she's actually going to be happy.
Kendi was a bubbly, outgoing person who loved the outdoors. She was the mother of 2 children, a daughter from a previous relationship, and a son she shared with Dan Howard. The couple lived in Athol, Idaho, a community that is part of the Coeur d'Alene metropolitan area. Kendi was taking concrete action to break ties with Dan Howard, a former Idaho state trooper who was jealous and controlling. She had recently made an offer on a house in Kamaya, Idaho, 176 miles away from Athol. That's where she rekindled a relationship with her high school sweetheart, Daniel Pardo. She had given notice at a company she worked for 20 years. Her dream was to open an antique store. But as the conclusion of the Howards' divorce grew near, tension between Kendi and Dan was reaching a breaking point. In the early morning hours of January 29, 2021, just 4 days before her death, Kendi made a distress call to her new boyfriend. She didn't speak to him directly, but left the line open so he could hear what was happening. He would later testify at Dan Howard's trial that Kendi was distraught and emotional, and he heard sounds of thuds in the background. He hung up and called Kendi's parents, who called 911.
Central Dispatch, this is...
Yes. I had a call from my daughter, Kendi Howard.
Okay.
She called in a panic, and I know her husband just got home from Alaska, and they're getting a divorce, and it didn't sound very good out there.
Tell me exactly what happened.
We was in bed, and my wife just got a phone call from a and here I'll let you
I got a call from a friend that she called them, and
oh
she's in a panic, and
poor
hung
dad.
up, and I've been trying to call her, and she won't answer. She's had trouble with him before. Dan Howard, you guys have been there before.
Okay. Are you at that location now?
No, I'm
Okay.
And I got a call from another friend.
Were there any weapons involved?
I don't know if he has weapons. And we've been there before because he pretended to like I said, he'll kill you and take you with him before he does that. She just called her friend that was in a panic with him, and then the phone hung up. Give me a second, just call me. Hello? Hello? That's it? It's Aztec? Yes. The cops are on their way to me. Kenny. The cops are on their way. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Stay on the line with your dad. What? Stay on the line with your dad. Okay, she's calling me. She's in a panic. She asked if Dad's sick. That's a sign. She needs help.
Oh, okay. I see what she was doing. Okay, yeah, she's speaking in code.
Is she saying what's going on?
Pardon? No.
Is she saying what's going on?
No, because he's there listening. That's why she said it. And she's crying.
Okay.
It's crazy. I told her not to frickin'...
Okay. Alright. Do you think it's been physical?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys were there last summer because it
Maven, stop.
Commit.
Stop.
Okay. Okay. Hold on just 1 second.
They already have a code. I feel so bad. I don't think it was a preset code. I think it was just like, oh, they could kind of tell that, you know, something's going on.
I just said I'm on the phone with the cops, and she said, yeah.
Is she saying anything?
She's on the phone with her dad right now.
Okay.
After Kendi's parents placed that call, police were dispatched to the Howard residence to conduct a welfare check. The officers reported that Kendi was anxious and scared, but seemed relieved when they arrived. She packed a bag and went to stay at her parents' home that night.
Oh, so this isn't even, I thought this was like when the event happened. This is before. Oh no.
When Kendi called her new boyfriend later that morning to tell him what had happened, she was upset and sobbing. She said she had woken up in bed to find Dan looming over her. He was dressed in black and wearing gloves. She spotted a gun magazine on the floor. She believed he was going to kill her. Her new boyfriend and her parents begged her not to return to the house the next day.
Yeah.
But Kendi insisted that she had
to
go back. She wanted to
For what?
make sure her animals were okay.
Just send someone else, man. Send someone else there. Or go with someone. Go with multiple people. Oh no. How? He was standing over you wearing gloves with a fucking gun. And you got out of that. Barely got out of that. And you want to go back by yourself. Oh man. Why didn't anyone stop her? Why didn't anyone go with her? I know she's a grown lady. She can make her own decisions, but like, man, that is rough.
And she had an eye appointment to keep. Police would be called to the home again on February 2nd, this time because of a 911 call placed by Daniel Howard. Body-worn cameras by the responding officers captured his demeanor at the scene. He claimed Kendi had shot herself with a handgun while taking a bath on the second floor.
Wow, you look very upset, sir.
Please, no.
Are you gonna fall to your knees and shout to the heavens? No! Are you gonna like go full on like movie acting here, bro? We want an Oscar for this? Dear Lord.
I honestly haven't seen it. I know what you.
Dude, I just love how he just like he stops for a second, looks back. Oh, is the cop still here? Oh no, I'm so sad. It's still here. Oh jeez.
No.
Oh duh.
Please don't.
What is that? You start howling at the moon?
Tell me it's gonna go away.
You start
Hi, sir.
cursing God? Why God? So cruel. Okay, they all like, how do you not tell like this is fake right off the bat? I'm sure these cops are even like, come on, man. All that noise, not a single tear, yeah.
Do you need anything?
Me when I was younger crying after my mom didn't buy me a toy I wanted. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like a little fucking kid who just got in trouble or something.
Investigators noted in their reports that although Dan made loud wailing noises while they were at his house, there were no physical indications of crying, such as tears or mucus. As one officer wrote, the long-term excessive show of emotion seemed especially odd for a seasoned former law enforcement officer and former Marine. After they checked on Kendi and determined that there were no signs of life, officers briefly discussed how to handle notifying Dan of his wife's death.
Zach? Yep. Do we give him... This is a different case. So given the circumstances of him and emotions and things like that, do we want to tell him? I don't think did medical tell him that she's dead?
I don't think so.
Do we want to tell him or do we want to wait?
You better tell him.
Okay, I got it. Actually, you know what? You haven't done one. Go tell him.
Okay. Before I take pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. What's his name?
Garmin, strike this man down. Garmin, smite this man. Smite this man with a lightning bolt.
Thank you.
Stan?
What's so hard about leaving your ex and minding your own business? It's the mindset of, if I can't have you, no one can.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Dan? Hey, Dan, I'm Deputy Wheeler. I'm sorry to inform you, but your wife is passed, sir.
No! God damn it!
Oh, God damn it! No! No! Falls to his knees. Curse you, true God! Why? Curse you, gods from above! I will avenge thee! I will avenge my wife, I promise! Curse you!
Hey, Dan.
I got it.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan, do me a favor. Quit being a bitch, all right? That's what the cop, just to pat him on the back. All right, Dan, first of all, okay, suck it up. You whiny pussy, okay? All right?
Is there anyone that we can call for you? Anyone that
It's
can...
good toasting. Oh my God.
Is there anyone we can call to give you some support or anything like that? Any family that... Dan, I know this is hard, but when is the last time that you saw your wife alive? I know this is tough.
Sorry, he can't answer that. He's crying loud. He's wailing at the heavens. All right. Curse you, Joe Biden! Why? You took my country, now my wife. Curse you!
I don't know.
How long ago? Can you recall?
What time is it?
Did you call 911 when you heard the gunshot?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. Oh no. I didn't.
Well, help us out with the time frame.
You didn't?
All right.
I didn't think it was a gunshot. I was
Okay.
downstairs. TV going.
So the TV was just so loud. You know, watching your Fox News, the TV was just so loud. You just couldn't hear a fucking gunshot in your house. Damn. This guy's got a good alibi. This guy's got a pretty solid alibi.
It sounded like something hit the floor or something. I don't know.
Dude, he's even cracking his voice. Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know, officer. It's floor. Oh, oh,
When was the last time you saw
gee.
your wife before she went to go take a bath?
Hour and a half.
Oh, damn, 2
Or
hours.
something. I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't.
Dude, he sounds like a fucking cartoon character.
I'm out of it.
It's about 11:15.
Maybe 9:30.
9:30 or so.
9:30.
Okay.
I don't know. It might be wrong.
Oh, jeez, Scoob.
God.
Despite his best
Like my wife's dead.
efforts to
Okay, I shouldn't laugh. Like, okay, I shouldn't laugh about that. Okay. Like Zoinks, officer. I think my wife's dead. Like, what am I supposed to do?
present himself as an innocent man, investigators were immediately suspicious of Dan Howard because they knew he had a volatile past. In 2013, after he found out Kendi was having an affair
Have some
with their
decorum.
neighbor and
I don't have
friend,
any decorum, but I have some riz.
and Matthew Wood, his response was extreme and multi-pronged, according to the Kootenai County Prosecutor's Office. Dan pointed an assault rifle at Matthew and threatened to splatter his brains all over the wall. He fired a shotgun at the roof of the house, stole his guns and mail, and poured syrup in his vehicles. He graffitied the lawn so conspicuously it could be seen from Google Earth's satellite imagery.
What the bro? What is wrong with this guy? What the fuck?
Dan also sent Matthew vulgar and threatening messages.
Runner, don't you dare ask. Okay, you need to be careful what you ask from Garmin, Runner.
Telling him he was lucky to still be breathing and that he understood why men kill their old ladies.
You should have just locked him up after he said that.
He followed Matthew around in his patrol vehicle and confronted him at work, where he ripped a piece of metal off his desk and smashed it into his laptop computer. The neighbor grew so fearful of Dan that he eventually fled his Athol home and moved to Washington State just to get away from him. Dan Howard was charged with first-degree stalking, aggravated assault, and malicious...
Again, another case of insanely large red flags that everyone ignores until they murder someone.
...injury to property in connection with those crimes. He admitted to some of the acts, but not all, and agreed to pay restitution to Matthew. When officers interviewed Dan at his house on the night of Kendi's death, he attempted to portray his wife as irrational and unstable. He claimed that she had threatened to harm herself many times before.
Did she ever make any statements that had you concerned about her well-being?
Yeah, about every day. Well, it's just she's so emotional.
You know women. I mean, come on, guys. You know women. It's so emotional and all.
She tells us, well, we should split up. And I agree with her.
Oh, you do?
She'd go the other way.
Oh, okay.
How long has this been going on? This hitch, last hitch, we're pretty distant, you know. I knew something was up, but...
Oh, man, these guys would have loved the 50s. I mean, yeah, like, that's what they're rooting for. They're rooting to go back in time. Man, I miss the old days where you could beat your wife and, you know, you don't get in trouble for it.
Whatever that turned out to be.
Now everyone's a pussy.
Pretty distant.
I killed my wife and you guys are trying to arrest me?
She's cheating on you again?
Y'all a bunch of pussies.
I asked her that. I asked her that to give me closure, because, you know, that would be it. But she said she hadn't been. You believe it? Man, her behavior, I don't know. It just doesn't add up. Okay?
Oh, what's that? Your wife is too emotional and is annoying you? Just give her a lobotomy, which you could literally do back then. You literally could give your wife a lobotomy without her permission, because only the husband's permission is all that matters. The husband can literally say, my wife is annoying and talking too much. Give her a lobotomy, shove a nail in her eyeball and tear up her brain so she stops talking back. Actual real thing.
What doesn't add up?
She's behaving the same way she was before. And, you know, before we made a go, that was pretty good. And, when she said she didn't want a divorce, or she doesn't want a divorce,
lobotomized
about every other day.
Dan said his marriage to Kendi became strained because they had a long-distance relationship half the time. He worked in Alaska's Prudhoe Bay, operating equipment with a schedule of 3 weeks on and 3 weeks off. That wasn't always the case. Back in 2014, Dan resigned his job of 19 years as a trooper with the Idaho State Police following his suspension. His stalking behavior toward Matthew Wood led to his downfall. When law enforcement served a warrant on his property in connection with the case, they found thousands of rounds of ammunition he had stolen from the Idaho State Patrol. They also learned he had a fraud.
You know what? Someone give this man a gun. You know what? Give him multiple guns. What, he was caught with a bunch of stolen ammunition and has a stalker charges? This man needs a gun. You know, give him multiple guns. Why not?
Fraudulent title for his Harley-Davidson motorcycle and a white-tailed deer that he had poached without a license. He was charged in both Kootenai and Bonner counties for these offenses. Dan Howard was sentenced in early 2015 for malicious injury to property, petty theft, title fraud, and failing to tag a deer he shot. He was ordered to serve 120 days in jail and complete 600 hours of community service. He was also given a suspended prison term for
looks like a guy I'd trust.
3 years and placed on probation. Although the Howards' marriage had somehow managed to survive all of the previous turmoil, it seemed that Kendi had made up her mind this time. She was done with him. On the night that Kendi died, Dan claimed it was an issue that had come up between them regarding the divorce that had pushed her over the edge. He said she became very upset and emotional when he insisted that they include the Kamaya house in the liquidation and split of their assets, even though she had put the offer in on the house herself. Dan said Kendi had the gun because she had asked him to get it out of their safe a couple of days.
Thank you, nonsensical bastard, for the for the gifted sub
prior, so she would have it as part of the division of assets.
She went and put earnest money on a house while I was up.
So she asked you to go grab the gun because she wanted it in the divorce?
The slope down there.
Sure, bud.
Text me once.
Sure,
she
bud.
said go see an attorney. She
Thank
saw
you,
an
Daisy
attorney
Bird.
a day before I got there, and then she had those papers. And I tried to talk her out of it. Let's talk first. Well, she didn't. And so since I've been here, we've been just going back and forth. You want to make it work? Okay, I'll encourage you to make it work. If you
He seems very distraught right now, chat. Where did all that crying go? Where did all that shaggy crying go, man? He's pretty calm now.
don't
What
want to
happened?
make it work, I'm encouraging you to still make it work. I couldn't see throwing 27 years away. But then, you know, I'm the one that filled out the papers, and I'll give her what she wants, if that's what she wants.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, bud.
And then she will do everything 50-50, okay. That includes the flipping house down there. Oh, which one? Wait.
So obviously you're wanting to make things work here, and she's
I'm trying to encourage her.
And she's telling you, you're not hearing me, I want the house and to change.
Okay.
I feel out of love, but breaks my heart. I'm hurting you.
Yeah, and then she'll come back and go, well, I'm not sure if I want the divorce. I'm gonna let that cat.
Where did that come from? All of a sudden, man, I love that cat. What?
Come back and go, well, I'm not sure if I want the divorce. I'm gonna let that cat.
Kendi and Dan's joint assets reportedly...
Did you just walk off never to be seen again? Like, just the way that cuts off. Yeah, it sucks that my wife died. I love that cat. Just walks, never to be seen again.
He totaled about $2 million. He denied that dividing it in half bothered him, but people close to Kendi told police that he was ultra-focused on money and would hassle her about debit card transactions as small as $10. Being forced to split their substantial nest egg was viewed by investigators as a powerful motive for Kendi's murder. They weren't the only ones who viewed Dan with suspicion. When the police were processing the scene at his house, Dan took a phone call from his stepdaughter. She was yelling at him so loudly that the officers could hear her from across the room. They used this conflict as an opportunity to confront Dan about whether he was telling the truth.
I think you killed your wife.
I have no idea.
Huh?
Because I got to tell you, that phone call put chills down my spine.
How many people?
You did it, didn't you, Dan?
No, I didn't.
Dude, I love how they catch on so fast to this. Like, I'm glad the cops aren't that stupid. You know, I was worried that some cops would be like, oh, he's just, you know, very distraught. But he's like blatantly faking. And they're already just like, nah, you did it.
I didn't think so, but now, after listening to that, I think you did, didn't you?
How the hell, she doesn't know. She wasn't here. She knows what,
Well, what does she
She doesn't know she wasn't
She
here.
knows that there's a divorce going on.
What does she know? She knows something. She wouldn't have reacted the way she did.
Well, I don't know what it is.
You're caught, buddy. You're caught.
Mother, she obviously had concerns if that was her knee jerk.
Okay. Well,
you understand where we're coming from?
Because I had talked to my daughter about that.
Stan,
You think all you want.
I think you did.
No, I didn't.
The condition of Kendi's body indicated that she had fought hard to save her life. The violent struggle left her with a broken jaw, bruises all over her body, lacerations on her feet, and a second-degree burn on her arm. Prosecutors...
Yeah, she committed suicide. Yeah, that's what it was. Wow, that's crazy that she did all that to herself and then shot herself afterwards. Damn.
Asserted that Dan asphyxiated
Dear
Kendi
Lord.
by putting her in a carotid restraint. The technique involves placing an arm around the victim's neck to apply pressure that cuts off the blood flow to the brain. It can render someone unconscious in seconds. Investigators believe that Dan Howard then removed Kendi's clothing and carried her lifeless body into the bathroom where he filled the bathtub, put the gun in her mouth, and pulled the trigger. The gun was found in the water with her. The bullet had a downward trajectory, but self-inflicted gunshot wounds usually have an upward or horizontal trajectory. And there wasn't much blood at the scene, further supporting the theory that the wound occurred after death. It wasn't until 2 years after Kendi died that Dan was charged with killing her. 1 year later, while his trial was underway, he was arrested at the Spokane International Airport for breaking the conditions of his release that prohibited him from going within 2 miles of the airport. In March of 2024, Dan Howard was convicted of second-degree murder and domestic battery. At his sentencing hearing,
how is that not first-degree murder?
He continued to deny that he had killed his wife.
I stand before you, shell of a man.
Oh my God, is he starting to cry again?
Hell, I don't even have a shell left. My wife.
It's so deep.
It's
It's so hard.
My will to live went down significantly.
Good. Good. I wish depression and suicidal thoughts upon you every day of your life. Every time you wake up, I want you to think about how you want to die.
And when the jury found me guilty of crimes I didn't commit.
Oh my God, this guy. I hate this guy so much.
The judge cited a combination of factors that drove Daniel Howard to kill Kendi, including jealousy, greed, pride, anger, and revenge. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder and received an additional 10-year sentence for domestic battery that will run concurrently. If you found this case compelling, don't forget to like.
W sentence? Yes.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.